What's up, brother? I'm doing something a little bit different for the YouTube video today. So a couple of months back, I created a program, like a multi-step program for a couple of my clients, and I want to be able to give it to you. So I will post one video today, and if this one gets good reviews, then I will continue to post from that program. I believe there's like 6 different modules that I made for them, and I just want to be able to give it to you to try and help you out. So if you like it, leave a comment or like the video, and if there's good engagement, then what I'll do is I'll continue to drop more and more videos like this that just kind of go deep into how you can direct your own reality. So this one is going to be titled How Your Thoughts Direct Your Reality. And so again, take a look at it, take some notes, because it goes into some pretty good information around how you can really take advantage of your thoughts and help them be able to move you forward instead of pull you back. And then again, if you like this video, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and just let me know that you want more, and I'll continue to post them.
Your thoughts shape your reality. You are not your body, you are not even your mind. You have a body and you have a mind, which also means that you have thoughts and you have feelings. You are not your thoughts and you are not your feeling. They are tools. Use them to your advantage, not your disadvantage. Your brain is like a computer, and your thoughts are the things that program that computer. Essentially what happens is you have a thought, and that thought creates a belief. But that belief isn't fully formed, and so your brain will start to look for things within your reality that confirms that belief or not. And to do this, it uses your reticular activating system, which is like a magnifying glass into the things that you think of. And once your brain finds enough things that confirm that belief, you create a conviction. And based on that conviction, you take action. And so to give you an example around how this would work, it could work to your benefit or it can harm you. And so let's say you wanted to ask your girl out. Your thought is, that girl would never want to date me. And then you create a belief that you say you're bad around girls. And then your brain starts to think of all of the times that you were bad around girls. And you create a conviction. You say, yeah, I'm definitely shit around girls. And then you take action and you either walk up to that girl and you act extremely awkward because you already told yourself that you're bad around girls, or you walk away because you're acting in alignment with your belief. And another way this could work is, say you saw a girl and you said, yo, that girl is cute, let me go talk to her. And you have the belief and you say, I'm good at talking to girls. Then you think of all the times in your past where you have successfully talking to a girl and you got her phone number or whatever the hell. And then you create a conviction that says that you are good at talking to girls. So when you walk up to her, you start to act with confidence because now you believe that you're somebody who's confident around women. This works with everything that happens in your life, and it will become your self-fulfilling prophecy. And it can either be your prison or it can be your key to freedom. And it's really just how you decide to use your thoughts, because your thoughts really do create your reality. Our thoughts dictate the actions we take. By changing our thoughts, you change your actions. And how do you change your thoughts? First, we have to understand what really dictates your thoughts and feelings, and that's your paradigm. Your paradigm is created from your identity, and your identity is created from awareness. Remember, the reality you experience is solely based on that which you are aware of. When we are born, we are a blank slate. Then we start to become aware of things that form our identity. And based on our identity, we create a lens to see the world through. We see all of our experiences through this lens, and depending on how it fits within that lens, it dictates how we think and feel about it. Our thoughts and feelings are just indicators that our body uses to determine if we're acting in alignment with our identity or not. So in order for us to change our thoughts, we must change our identity. And to give you an example around how this works, when I was younger, I was always the quiet one out of my siblings. And so everyone would be like, oh, that's Malachi. He's just naturally quiet. He's more introverted. And so every time I would start to open up and I would start to talk more, people would say, you're introverted. Where is this guy? Who is this guy? And then I would naturally go back to my more quiet state because I essentially thought that was who I had to be for people to really understand who I was. And as a little kid, I didn't understand how this was programming me to create an identity of somebody who was quiet. And I didn't really start to break out of my shell until I started getting around other kids my age and I started hanging out with people and I realized actually I am more of an extrovert. I have both sides to me. There's no such thing as just I am one or the other. You could have one that you lean more towards, but if you sit there and you say that this is the one true me or this I'm only introverted, then you're going to stop yourself from being able to achieve the things, because you have to be able to step into any role that you need to be successful within whatever endeavor you're chasing after. Your identity is not just your self-image, it's also your beliefs, your emotions, and your habits all tied up into one. And once you shift your identity, everything else shifts. So for example, if you want to get in shape and you create an identity that says I am healthy and capable of maintaining 10% body fat with ease, your paradigm will open and you will say it's possible for me to get to 10% body fat. And because of that, your thoughts and feelings will act in accordance with it, and it will look for steps to be able to help you get to that 10% body fat mark. And then you'll start taking actions on those steps from the place of being, instead of if you had an identity that says getting to 10% body fat is hard and I can't do it, your paradigm is going to be like, getting to 10% body fat is too hard. There's no point in me trying. Your thoughts are going to say, oh, I can't do that, somebody else can. And then you're going to start taking actions that don't act in accordance with what you want to create within your life. And so, how do you shift your identity? You must ditch the old to make room for the new. You have to clearly define the current identity and craft a new one that is capable of achieving the goals with ease. Then commit to being that new identity. And yes, it is really just that simple. Most people struggle with this, though, because they have become way too attached to their current identity, even though 99% of the time they didn't consciously choose it. And to prove it to you, is there a part of your identity that you don't like? Any part of it. Like, do you not like when you're too quiet around other individuals? Do you not like how you're not confident? Do you not like the way you think about yourself? Different things like, is there any part of your identity that you don't like? And if so, do you remember consciously choosing it to be there? Chances are you responded in a certain way to an experience and it got you a certain outcome, and now you respond that way. And to give you another example, when I was a kid, because everyone would tell me I was introverted, like I said before, what I would do is people would try and, for some reason, because I was quieter and I didn't want to be around people all the time, it attracted more people to me. So I would push them away. And the more I pushed people away, the more they wanted to be around me for some reason. And I noticed that up until I was like in my 20s, I would do the same thing. I would start to like people and I would push them away. And I was like, why do I do this? It was because this was a role that I took on when I was a kid. And because it got me a certain outcome, which was more attention, I continued to do it. And I thought that it would work if I continued to do it as an adult. And the thing is, all of us have these things that we've learned as kids that we haven't taken enough time to understand why we do them. And so then they just rule our life and we think that's just who we are. But it's because we haven't taken the time to understand the identity that we've built over the 20 something years that we've been alive, for us to be able to understand or really even choose if it's one that we want to continue living as. Your attachment to your current identity is the only thing stopping you from having everything you want in life. As a child of the Creator, success is your birthright, but you must be willing to let go of what you have to be able to step into what you are meant to be. The identity that gets you here won't get you there. Every time you want to upgrade to a new level within your life, the current character that you're playing will become limited, and you have to be able to give up that character to be able to become the new character for you to be able to achieve the things that you want. People get so stuck, not because the thing they want is impossible, they get stuck because they try to change something external without upgrading their internal. And they continue to operate from a program that isn't in alignment with the things that they want to create. You must shift internally for the shift to happen externally. And until you're willing to let go of the old to step into the new, every time you start to make progress, you will start to self-sabotage because you're starting to step away from how you currently view your identity and how you fit within this world. And if every time you start to see progress in the gym, you reward yourself with stuffing your face with junk, it's because your old identity is starting to pull you back. And to give you an example of this, anytime, like if you've ever started a business or started to do really good in sales and got on a hot streak, and then out of nowhere you just started to not perform. You reach the level and you just get stuck at this income level or whatever the hell you're trying to chase, and you don't understand why. It's because every time you try and jump forward, your identity says, no, this is who we are, and then you act in accordance with it. Because in reality, whether it's sales, whether it's fitness, or whatever the hell it is, you already know what to do, but there's some part of you that's stopping you from actually doing it. And that's because you did not upgrade your identity to be in alignment with the things that you want to achieve. And if you really want to achieve it, that's the first thing you have to do. And so people don't just become the highest version of themselves. They become what their identity says they are. Forget the binary stance of one true me and not me. At a certain point in your life, you're going to have to redefine yourself. Understand that you will continually have to sacrifice one version of yourself to be able to experience another.